First and foremost, Brakatha Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Brakatha Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Brakatha Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Call Limelight Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, double honor to the apostle of GMS. Shalom to you, Akim in the faith, make everybody's a living sacrifice, prophesying day in and day out the downfall of this wicked nation, as Babylon, known as Babylon the Great. And the title of this lesson is going to be Apparatus of this lesson is edifying and quick, straight to the point. The title of this lesson is going to be water. I'll find the Hebrew word for water, and I'll make that the title. Just as like a fish hook. But man, the Lord shows us the importance of water on many scales and many levels. They have waters up above the firmament. You got waters upon the heavens. And you got waters under us. Not to be too deep, literally. But yeah, man. The earth is made of 70% water. When you look at a globe scale, our bodies are made of majority of water. Here, let me see how much percentage of water is our bodies made of. How much percentage of human body made of water? About 70%. So that's very, the Lord's the greatest artist out here. Obviously it's gonna vary just because different body types, but it's 70%, give or take. So the Lord, and we're made from the ground, man. So that goes to show you we're earth, in a sense. But humans can go about 8 to 21 days without food. That's one thing. It says 8 to 21 days because there's different body types. Different people are used to fasting. Some people have different mental fortitude, so therefore they could, go longer than another. But with that being said, it's a way different ballgame when it comes to water, man. Your body needs and craves that water. Without that water, you're gonna crash. It doesn't matter how unhealthy of a person you are. You could drink sodas all day. At some point, your conscience will tell you that you need water. And it's spiritual that it's 3 days because, the Lord was in the ground for 3 days before he was risen up. 3 is also a number of completion. And today, we're going into the news, and as time will keep progressing, it's only going to get worse. But as we're seeing across the nation, Jackson, Mississippi is suffering a water crisis. And, a lot of those people that, I don't know the demographic, but there's a lot of Jakes out there with that being said, So therefore, Esau Edom doesn't give a fuck about taking care of Jake out there. And if there is a few Edomites, Esau Edom taking care of them, or they can take care of themselves, per se. You got E. coli found in Baltimore. You got Georgia, water crisis, massive flooding in the city. You even got city of Mexico found 20 days of fresh water left. Wow, that's mighty. Here, let's go into droughts. There's one thing to have contaminated water and fucked up water, but it's a whole nother thing. You got water that you can't even clean, and this is fresh off the press. 6 hours ago, summer drought took a toll on corn and wheat. California billboards displayed drought of wildfire, housing shortage, drought in Europe. This is pretty big, actually. This is pretty big because this is pretty recent and it's on a large scale. Let's see if we can get a good article for this. I'll go in and out of it pretty quick, Lord willing. It's the worst drought since the Middle Ages, seen from space. Last time Europe suffered from a drought it experienced 2022, first calling this up America. This adds in a way, that's Satan, man. That's Satan. But yeah, we won't waste too much time on this. Okay, let's just read this shit. 2022 European drought in summer 22. Parts of Europe have experienced drought conditions exacerbated by heat waves. On 9th of August, a senior European Commission research said it seems to be Europe's worst in 500 years, a report from the Global Drought Observatory. So, this could have been, since, we're going to bring out some precepts. Isaiah chapter 19 goes into the burden of Egypt, but we'll get straight to the point. In verse 5, The waters shall fail from sea to sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up. These are the plagues of Egypt, which is today we're in Egypt. Babylon the Great is known as spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, known as Egypt, because there was a lot of wickedness going back then. And this place again, reborn, revamped. Verse 6, and they shall turn, here, let me pull this up as I'm reading it from my Bible, so you guys can follow along. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 6. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of the fence shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. And we're going to show you what a brook looks like. Brooks of the fence. Okay, having sustainability, that's a form of defense. Having food, money, water, provision, victuals. Let's see what a reed looks like. So yeah, these would probably be like your swamps, things of those sorts. And flags shall wither. Let's see what this brings. Bear with me, Baruch Shah. Interesting. Here, let's go to the blue letter. That's why the Lord gives us superpowers like this. The Lord gave us an arsenal to be baby geniuses or full-on geniuses. There's just levels, flags, reeds. So yeah, same thing as a swamp. At like this picture that I showed you. Come on, we'll get right back into it. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishers shall also mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brook shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish. So it ain't gonna be all this, and this time, this is gonna come to pass. This is not a forever thing. What you see now is about to be taken away. The Lord has to revamp this whole entire place into the hands of Yahweh Shai, King David, the 12 disciples, and the 144,000, and the 1/3 consisting of women, children, and men. Yeah, you never seen because and another importance of water is the Lord showed us that water is very important, because even before it started raining, the Lord always had mists and dew come up on plants, and that's why people never believed Noah when he was prophesying about the rain coming, and it surely came, But the Lord shows us that water is very important. Water, which is toxins, Book of Revelation, chapter 8, verse 11, and we know this is going to be into the times that we're coming into, but we could also apply it to what we're seeing now. And the name of the star is called wormwood, which means contaminate or bitter, or a star, like it says in the blue letter. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Bitter going into irritated, contaminated, And that also goes into the word Americo, because that's where the word America comes from, is bitter, Americo Vespucci. But with that being said, is these waters are being contaminated, man, So therefore, it's only going to get worse. So, if you're not right with the Lord, you're going to be through. Because the Lord has the power to give his servant, clean water, or superpowers to find some sort of liquid and to purify it, So Lord willing, this is edifying. I wanted to be straight to the point, quick to the topic. Water is a very important element. And shit. The Lord's drying it up, man. He's gonna keep drying it up with the missiles, man, which shall melt all the elements with fervent heat. So yeah, tough times. We're in beautiful times. Call line like y'all about Shalom.